Everyone's doing well tonight. Trust you are. Like to jump on here a few minutes early and get things set up. Okay. Share this to a couple different pages. And we'll share it to the Chiller Night group page. Who else we gotta share this to? Maybe we'll share it to the Harrisville Haunted House. There we go. Give them something to look at now that it's not October. Tom says, happy Saturday, y'all. Yes, it is. Terrence says, hello, Brian. Hey, Terrence. Tommy says, Roger says, good evening. Hey, good evening, Roger. He's starting here any second now. Almost 8 o'clock. Almost there. All right, I think I got everything all set up. Like it. Yeah. All right, we're sitting pretty good until we got another few seconds here to begin. There we go. 8 o'clock. Time to begin. Hey everybody, this is Brian Hogue. Welcome to the Chiller Night Live pre-show, where from 8 p.m. Eastern Time until just a minute or two before 9 p.m. Eastern Time, I sit here and I talk about the Chiller Night television programming that'll be airing on Stream TV beginning at 9 o'clock. So this is the pre-show. We sit here and talk and meet up and cyber chat, and then at 9 p.m. scoot on over to Stream TV at streammedia.tv, where you can watch the Chiller Night programming. I'll put the schedule up here in just a moment. Wanted to recap all that just in case you're new, or if you've been here for a long time and you just forgot. So let's see. Ghoul World Order says, hey Brian. Hey Ghoul World Order, thanks for joining us. Tom says, hey Terrence Ghoul. Lasercorn says, hey peeps, reporting live from the Anchor Bar in Niagara Falls tonight. It is freaking cold. I can only imagine. It was like 22 today, between 19 and low 20s today. So I can't imagine what you're doing up in those tundra-like conditions. Cassandra says, hi everybody. Hey Cassandra, thanks for joining us. Ghoul World Order says, I misspelled your name when I wrote hey Brian. How did I screw that up? It's quite all right. All right. Well, I'll get over it. Let's see. Diana says, hi, everyone. Diana, thanks for joining us. Brad says, it's a Chiller Night pre-show with Brian Hogue, starring Brian Hogue. Now, here's Brian. What's on tonight, Brian? I'll tell you what's on tonight. I'll tell you. Just a few. What's Tractor Hits? Well, I've known you all my life, so if I was new here, I think we'd have a problem, LOL. Oh, yeah, yeah. I've known you all your life. Yeah, I guess that works both ways. All right, so, hey, folks, tonight is... Oh, thanks for joining us, by the way, Tractorhead. The schedule for tonight. Now, you ready for this? There are some differences on tonight. I tweaked the schedule around a little bit. Now here we go. New show tonight, The Screaming Skull. That was, of course, last week's um, episode that we did live. Now tonight it is cleaned up, polished, and will be debuting on Stream TV as a new episode. 10:30. Aha! See what I did there? Chiller Chat. My guest is the Eerie Voices Paranormal Society. That's part 2 of a 2-part episode. 11 p.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. 12:45. Haha! There's another change. Chiller Chat. My guest is Eerie Voices Paranormal Society, and that's part 1. 1:15 a.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Silent Night, Bloody Night. Yes! The schedule is different tonight. As you can see, there's less of a gap in between these programs, and that's why I did it that way. I wanted to see if I don't know, kind of like to try new things. This year is going to be new in many ways, so hope you like the new lineup, hope you like the new schedule, and we shall see. Terrence says hello. Hey Terrence. David says, good evening. Champagne popped and poured. Cheers. David, thanks for joining us. Brad says, have you been watching some NFL playoff football, Brian? Nope, I can't say that I have. Nope, I haven't done that. Tractor Head says, trying to be more active in chat rather than lurking like usual. Well, we're happy to have you here tonight. Brad says, Steelers play tomorrow. All right. Cool. I hope they have a good game. So last night we did a live show, what I consider the Friday Night Frights. It's basically a live, unedited viewing of a Chiller Night Theater episode. And as the bumper says, and the little note on the bumper in between segments of the movie is, you are the virtual studio audience. You're watching this thing unfold right out there in the open, glitches and all. So you know, as frustrating as it can be sometimes on well, I guess on both sides of the camera, if something's not running well, you know, doing what it's supposed to, that's got to be equally as frustrating for you as a viewer. But, you know, on my end, it's like I jumped on here the other night, and I appreciate a lot of your feedback because that helped me get things set up for last night's show, and it went off pretty well. I was getting some good feedback with the audio and just with everything. The only thing I didn't like personally, just from you know, me critiquing it afterwards and looking at it, was the brightness level on me was a little too bright. I've kind of tweaked that tonight for this show here, so because I think that gives a little bit too much of a soft look on me. But I was, you know, we did it. We got through it. We watched The Creeping Terror, and I think we had a lot of fun. Had a good time. Hope you did too. John says, good evening, everyone. I bid you welcome. John, thanks for joining us. Let's see. Jason says, fantastic show last night. Well, fantastic host, that is. Ah, thank you. I'll tell you, I appreciate that. It's, I wasn't sure how that was going to go, but it was a necessary thing. Oh, wait a minute. Tom says, about halfway through The Creep Behind the Camera, if accurate, that Vic Savage was quite a piece of work. Yeah, I didn't have time to get through the whole thing. I'm probably about halfway through myself, or maybe a little bit further than that, but not much further. But there was some. That guy was a real dirtbag. I mean, he just really was. I hope his life didn't go well for him. I really do. I think he was just a piece of trash, and yeah, some of the stuff I was hearing on that, if true, I mean, I should say that, you know, but it sounds like everybody in that documentary was all heading in the same direction with his character description. So Terrence says, I saw The Scary of 61st last Sunday. It was a stinky dumpster fire. The cinematography was horrible. It looked like it was shot on a cheap phone. The acting was subpar and laughable. I believe you brought that up last week, and I've got to say I've not heard of that one other than you mentioning it here. Uh, Tractor Hit says they took creeping literally on that one. Yeah, yeah, they sure did. Wow. Did you guys? I mean, I don't know if Tom got a chance to see some of that, and even I haven't watched all of it. In fact, last night, I'll be honest, that was the first time I actually saw the entire movie. Was with you guys. That was it. I do a quick scan through just to see if there's anything I need to edit out. I didn't think there would be, but I do like to do that. And then the first two segments I watched those, but that last segment I was watching with you guys for the first time. So I had a lot of fun. I thought that was a fun thing to do. I had some people question about where's Jack Shadow? Where's Jack Shadow? And trust me, he didn't go anywhere. I mean, I can personally vouch for that. But he's just taking a little break. And in order, like I've explained, on the realistic side of things, just because my schedule is about to really get crazy, and then I'll soon be able to talk about that if but right now it's just going to get pretty crazy in a good way, but it doesn't leave me time to first a Chiller Night Theater episode. Those took a lot of time. I don't know if that showed. I hope it did, but there was a lot of it was dialogue dependent, I guess, in a way. Like Jack didn't just shoot from the hip. There was thought, there was dialogue behind it, and of course the costume. Getting in that costume, that's just something. Quite honestly, I don't have time to do right now, and so if you guys are good with the way that this is being done right now, then I do as many of these as I can, and just see where it goes. That's all I can really say. But I really, really had a good time there last night with all this, and I it seemed like you guys did too. The thing that was kind of funny is for me to sit here and watch the comments. Everybody was having a lot of hilarious comments. Tom, with the zingers, the king of zing, and I sat here like I really did. I was sitting here laughing out loud like this is it was fun. It was a lot of fun for me, and so if you look at it like a watch party mixed with this and mixed with Chiller Night Theater, there you have the new version of the show, at least for now. And I'll put that in there because you might not like, to see me as the host necessarily. Or you might like to see that. I don't know. But I can say this. There's a big difference in even from last week, the Screaming Skull, to last night. There was a much more of a comfort level, that... and I was talking to George. I was talking to you last night on the phone there after the show, and we chatted for quite a while. But the one thing I was saying is, it's I've been, as Jack Shadow, I've been doing this for a long time, my 14th year or something like that, as far as hosting. But as far as Brian Hogue getting up and just talking during the show, I've never done that before. So I didn't know really how that was going to go last week. It it is what it is. Last night it went a lot smoother, and so next week I'm going to push myself to do another one, and because I want to find my niche with this, as far as like, me getting comfortable in that role for now, because that's how we're going to get new shows this year, or for now anyway. So let's see. Terrence says, I saw Scream 2022 last night. I have mixed feelings about it. 3 out of 5 stars. My ranking for Scream series, best to worst: Scream 1. Okay, best to worst: Scream 1, Scream 2, Scream 4, 5, and 3. Okay, so Scream 3 was the worst. 5 was... Alright, so... there you have it. I never really got into the Scream movies. I saw the first 2, I think. And I didn't dislike them, but it never really grabbed at me. You know what I mean? Like, I could sit through it. Doesn't bother me to watch it, but it's not something I go out of my way for. It didn't really just grab at me, like I said, John says, seeing the barfly at the bar sneak off with those loose drinks was classic. It left me rolling. Oh yeah, well, we've all been there. Well, that one girl was like, okay, we're seeing, like, and I don't know if they were trying to. What did I miss? If I blinked, I miss it. She just gets up like, that's it, I'm leaving. I've had enough of that guy. What guy? I didn't even see who she was talking about. I guess they were trying to put drama in where maybe drama wasn't. And I don't know what they were doing. All right. Now we got to block somebody here. That worked. Let's see. I think we got rid of that. So, Brad says, sounds like your schedule is really about to blow up, Brian. Yeah. Yes, it is. Jason says, you're channeling Chili Billy with just you and the tux is good. Thank you. That's why, Lisa Ann was, I think it was her who said the first week something about the host. It looks like you should be, hosting, 007 movies, and, but if you're around from the Pittsburgh area, you would, I'm sure most people are looking at horror hosts like somebody in a costume, but Chili Billy, that was just a tuxedo thing. And I thought, well, rather than me do the Chiller Chat look or the pre-show look, the jeans and t-shirt, I'll just, dress up in the old tuxedo like the host that I grew up watching. Let's see where that goes. So let's see. Jason says, you fixed the audio problems from last week to this week. You're doing well. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I jumped on there. I was taking no chances. I jumped on here Thursday night, the night before, just to get some feedback, and I set everything the way that it had to be set. And I just like, okay, that's it. I'm not touching nothing now. So I might do that. Again next week, perhaps. I hate to get on here all dressed up and have that stuff happen, because it rattles me a bit, because I'm there like, oh no, how do I fix this? And I'm in the middle of a show. I'm all dressed up, and it does interfere with my line of thinking then, and when I got to get on there, because I don't have a script, and that's what's different. I don't have a script. I have some topics that I have, of course, like actors' names or something like that. I have a few things jotted down, but I don't have a dialogue. I don't have a script. I'm just talking like I am right now. And I thought, well, if I can just kind of mix a watch party with that pre-show, and kind of give that, and I'm gonna see where this goes. Maybe people would prefer more of a the wittiness of Jack Shadow, who is far more eloquent at talking than I am, for sure. But like I said, we'll just see where it goes. I am going to try this. Like I said, Jack is, we'll do this for a while and see how it goes because I won't be able to be Jack Shadow for a while. He will be back later this year, but it's going to be a little while. That's all I can tell you. Tom says, we all blinked in unison. What with that guy I blocked? Is that what you mean? Or, oh no, about the movie. The movie, yeah, about that girl. Yeah, I was like, what? I can't rewind it, but I'm sure I missed something. Terrence has already reported the spam. Thank you. I wasn't sure how to do that. I knew there was a thing to get in here and block them, but I appreciate that. Brad says, ever seen the horror movie Charade? That's a public domain movie. I don't think I have. I don't think I have. Craig says, hi. Hey, Craig, thanks for joining us. David says, hello all. Hey, David, thanks for joining us. Charade. No, I don't think I've ever heard of that one, Brad. But I'll tell you what I have heard of. And maybe you have too. Ready for this? Next week's movie. Are you ready? Should I announce it now or should I wait? All right, I'll announce it now. The 1953 Chiller, Robot Monster, Friday, January 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Live, interactive, unedited, unscripted. Just, well, there we go. There's next Friday's Friday Night Frights, Robot Monster. Now, if you've never seen Robot Monster, there's probably more of a likelihood for you tuning in and checking it out if you have seen Robot Monster before. I question whether you'll join us. It's if you thought last night's movie was fun, I have no doubt that you'll have a great time watching Robot Monster next Friday night. Oh, here we go. All right, here we go, another one. What the heck is going on here? Locked user on YouTube. Welcome restream. Wow. Wonder what's going on here. We've got some spam in the chat. Terrence says Charade is a suspense mystery thriller with Cary Grant and Aubrey Hepburn. Really? Wow, I didn't know that. Awesome. Vigor Warrior says, great job. Thank you. Brad says, holy moly. I know. Terrence says, spam bot returns. I know. This is crazy. I don't know. There's always somebody out there. But I wonder what's making that come into our chat, you know. It's on YouTube, right? Wasn't that on YouTube? I don't think that was on Facebook. Well, we'll see. We'll give it another couple minutes. I'm sure I'll be back again. Somebody will. Tom says, you ever seen Death of Ocean View Park? It was late 70s CBS Movie of the Week. Mike Connors, Martin Landau. Death of Ocean View Park. No, I don't think I have. You know, I was looking up a movie that, Tom, that you had recommended. I was thinking of one for next week. And The Giant Claw. And I just remember, honestly, I mean, believe it or not, I tried to get back to requests, even if it's been like a year. But now, if I can keep these going more frequently, you know, we can get to these a lot more quickly. But I'm not real convinced that one's public domain. I would love to play that one, but I still got a little bit more looking around to do for that. And I haven't been looking for a year, but I just looked again today. I remember you had mentioned that one time. I'm sure it was you, and then I looked at it today for a few minutes, and I'll have to look a little deeper there. But this other one you mentioned, no, I'm not familiar with that. Terrence says, Spam Bot Returns is the worst superhero sequel of all time. Spam Bot Returns. Glam Fang says, Spam? I thought you said glam, so here I am. Ah! And Miss Glam, Very poetic. Well, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here. Um, Brad says, last time I heard about spam was the meat. LOL. Hey, speaking of that, Soylent Green. That just made me think of that. Some people are missing spam, but Soylent Green is supposed to be taking place in the year 2022. Just thought I'd mention that. Um, that's what jogged into my head when you mentioned spam. So, Terrence says, Glam, glad you're here. Yes, we're all glad you're here. Glam, thanks for joining us. Tom says, my brother had a small part in it. The death of Ocean View Park? Late 70s CBS movie of the week. Okay. What part did he have? John says, not claw. 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 I don't know if I'm saying what you're writing. Claw. Claw. Glam says, howdy everyone. Chat is on fire tonight. Yes. Tom says, it's about an amusement park that starts killing people. Really? Well, that sounds pretty interesting. Terrence says, donate Soylent Green. I hear it's made of people. I know. Yeah. Well, if they start selling it this year, unless you're into that type of thing, I would avoid it. That's just my opinion. David says, the director of Robot Monster, Phil Tucker, was only 25 years old when he made the movie. You would think that such a high quality movie would have been done by an older, more professional individual. Is that right? Phil Tucker was 25 years old when he made the movie. That's 10 years older than I would have given him credit for. Oh my gosh. I think it's got to be a fun one. Terrence says, Soylent Green is the main dish for zombie Thanksgiving. Yeah. Ain't that the truth? All right. Speaking of zombies, any good zombie movies out there? I know The Walking Dead is just putting along on its last season. I think that's going to start back up in February. Season 11, like the second half of it. So looking forward to that. I'm still okay with the show. I mean, you know why? I think this is why. Because I didn't read the comic. And if I had read the comic, maybe I wouldn't be as okay with the show as I am. When they stray from source material that has a strong, solid fan base, then I can see why somebody, But for someone like me, I never read the comic book, so I'm okay. I'm okay with it. So we'll see. There's always going to be people who complain, but I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad. My biggest complaint was when they killed off Carl. I thought that from a writing point of view, I don't think that was a good idea. I thought that was a really bad idea from a writer's point of view. I understand in an apocalyptic world like that, bad things happen to good people and vice versa. But just from a writer's point of view, if you're looking to continue, with a long-lasting series of programming, I think that was a mistake. Because, well, I don't want to get into that, but that's just my little personal opinion. John says, Soylent Green is people, holy to serve man, Batman. Oh, we got a holy, like Robin says, holy to serve man, Batman. Cool World Order says, has anybody watched the Day of the Dead series? I started watching that. I think I got through maybe the first 5 minutes. And it was around Halloween, right? I mean, when that came out in October, and it was more for, it was more because I was like a kid in the candy store. There's so many things to choose from, and if it didn't grab me, if it really didn't hold my attention, I was out of there. I was just trying to find something, and I did try to watch that, and I just wasn't that into it. What was I watching at the time? I think back then I was watching uh, Deadwood and Hell on Wheels. So there was some series that I was kind of in the middle of, and then I tried that, and I tried Chucky. I couldn't get it really into either one of them at the time. Not saying I didn't like them, but wasn't something that captivated me enough to sit there and go through the episodes at that time. Is it any good? I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't good. It just, from what I saw, it wasn't enough to hold me there, in front of the TV. David says just started rewatching it and Fear the Walking Dead in chronological order till I watch The Walking Dead Beyond. Walking Dead Beyond. That's another one that I know that they're throwing a lot of stuff in there that I should be interested in knowing, because I know it's going to loop back around where, I see, that's where, and then this is where we get this. I get what they're doing there, and the only reason I get that is because of stuff I see on YouTube, like reviews and things like that. But the show, I can't, I tried the first episode. Ava and I, we watched that, what's it called, the Walking Dead World Beyond, and I don't think we made it through the first episode. I just couldn't get into the whole kids thing, I don't know. I just don't find them interesting enough. I tried. I wanted to like it, but it just wasn't doing it for me. The Walking Dead. In fact, the Fear the Walking Dead. I watched it all the way up until um, the very end of 2021, and I kind of gave up on that show for now too. It wasn't doing it for me. The Walking Dead is the one that I've seen every episode from very beginning, and I'm gonna see that one through, and I'll watch the Rick Grimes movies. But this other stuff that the spin-offs. Let's see. Glam says, "Hey Terrence and Gold World Order. Hi. Oh, hey, hi, Laser and Diana. Evening, Tractor and John. Good to see you, Jason and Vigor. It's like the who's who of Chiller Night Theater. Yeah, right." Brad says, "Still hard to believe that Dracula, Frankenstein, and King Kong movies are going to be in the public domain in the late 2020s. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I can't wait. I'm still doing this. That'll be great. I would love to feature those shows." David says, "I watched the whole first season. It's fun in more of a Return of the Living Dead type way." Oh, okay. I suppose if you watched it with that in mind, Day of the Dead season 1. Okay. Maybe I'll go into it with that in mind. I could tell by the trailer that I think I played it on here, that they weren't, taking it very seriously. It was more done either a parody or a lot of humor. I kind of gotta be in. I don't know. I could probably revisit that if I have time. Let's see. Karen says, Spider Glam does whatever a spider can." Spider Glam. Glam says, "Doing swell, Tom. Hope all is well in your part of the web." Ah. Let's see. Glam says, "If only Terrence walking on walls and ceilings would come in handy. That would be pretty cool, I must say." All right, 8:32. I'm going to put the schedule back up here. Again, notice the changes of time here. This is not our typical schedule. We have a new episode tonight, The Screaming Skull. That was the first one that I actually hosted as me, as Brian Hogue. 10:30, Chiller Chat. My guest is Eerie Voices Paranormal Society. That's part 2 of a 2-part episode. Tape back in October. 11, Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. 12:45, Chiller Chat. My guest is Eerie Voices Paranormal Society. That is part one of that two-part episode. 1:15 a.m. I get that. Now, there's 12:45, that's different. 10:30 p.m., that's different. And 1:15 a.m., Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Silent Night, Bloody Night. Again, the reason I did that was so some of those are right up against each other, and some of them there might only be 5 minutes of gap in between movies. If even that, I don't recall, to be honest with you. But yeah, well, let's try it. Let's try it. That's what this year is going to be about. Just trying things. So I do have a lot of ideas. Like I said, now some of the things I will be discontinuing for this year that I will not even try to do is Chiller Chat. That's done. I don't mean that to be in a bad way. I don't mean to sound that way. But so many, just to be able to do Chiller Night Theater episodes regularly and much more frequently as me, I don't know. I got to think of a name. Like Chilly Billy had a little nickname like that. I don't know, Mr. Chiller or something. It got to be Chiller or something. But Mr. Chiller, maybe I'll just do that. I don't know. I got to. It's different. It is different because like if you're just taping pre-taped, for example, you could do anything and you could be as comfortable as you want to in front of the camera. When you're live, I was talking with George about this last night. It is different if you were able to go back and see the very first couple of pre-shows I did. Oh my gosh, I sat there and I was like, how am I going to do Chiller Chat? How am I going to talk for half an hour? And then pre-show, how am I going to get on here? What am I going to say? And then it became it was always an interactive program like this. And you guys make it very easy for me to do that. But it is different. There is a big difference when that light goes on and I'm talking to that, that piece of plastic and glass in front of me. But I like that. There's something about doing a live show that I much more prefer than doing a pre-taped one. Pre-taped, a little too safe for me in a way. I got that. I see the safety net, and it's more thrilling for me if I've got no net. Maybe that's the entertainer in me, the showman in me that prefers something live like that, where anything can happen. And unfortunately, sometimes that does. Glitches and all do occur, but I'd rather have that raw live show that's got that pulse, that you can't really get with a pre-show or pre-taped program. I don't know if anybody. I think you get what I'm saying, but that's the way I feel about it, anyways. It gives me a little bit more enjoyment doing a live program. So, let's see. Oh, there's a lot of comments. Terrence says, halfway through season 2 of Lex, thinking about bailing on it. Oh, really? You had mentioned that last week, I believe. I remember you mentioning that. Go World Order says Dracula, Frankenstein, and King Kong will be in the public domain, but YouTube will still give you a hard time if you want to host them. Oh, yes, they will. They give me a hard time about the Screaming Skull. They flagged me for that, for copyright violations for the Screaming Skull. The Screaming Skull! That thing's been in the public domain forever. But I'm telling you, there's no safe way for me to do this, and I do get the copyright notices and all that, So if you're ever coming on here on a Saturday night, because it says, I mean, whenever I enter the information, it tells me, it says on here, this might not work. The multi-streaming might not work on the YouTube channel because I'm in, the channel's in bad standing or something. I don't get monetized. It's like, do whatever you got to do, and I'll do what I got to do. You know, if that's what you want to do, then have at it. You know, but but it does say that, I mean, there's times when, and the only thing I can say is if you have a Facebook account, jump on Facebook and you can watch and participate that way. But there's there's no guarantee that there's no guarantee it was going to be on tonight on YouTube, or you know, I got the warning that's like been on there for like a month. And but when I put these public domain movies on there, like The Creeping Terror, that might just set something off. I don't know. There is no rhyme or reason now. Yeah, nobody sets off to do a blatantly flagrant copyright abuse, but I don't know. I don't have a good answer for any of this. Tom says, Lex not doing it for you, for Terrence. Brad says, Steamboat Willie, the very first Mickey Mouse cartoon of 1928, will be in the public domain in 2023. Remember Steamboat Willie? Yeah, yep. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't be. Disney was very protective of their stuff, so that makes sense. Um, Jason says, great move to run the shows up against each other. I I appreciate the feedback there, because yeah, you know, in this day and age, you got 2 minutes to, you know, or 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes. You've got something else to watch. You've got something else that's going to preoccupy your time. I always spaced them out like that just because that was the way we were doing it, and I didn't really get too much feedback one way or the other. But I got to thinking, like, you know what? Is this going to hurt anything? You know, it's harder. It might be harder to remember, like 12:45. You know, in a 15-minute increment, or quarter after, whatever. But is that, you know, if they want to watch a show, maybe they're just going to sit there and watch the whole thing play out. You know, that would be kind of cool. Terrence says, no, Lex kind of lost its footing. I prefer when Zeb was played by Eva Haberman. And Jason says, rest in peace, Chiller Chat. Say it isn't so. It is so for this year. For this year, I had to drop some things just in order to, you know, like to do the more frequent Chiller Night theaters as me, you know, even as myself, with no pre-prepared dialogue, you know. It's still you know, there's still review of the movie to some extent, editing the movie, you know, placing the old mark on there, the Chiller Night mark, and cutting it up and putting it into segments. That still is time consuming. It's not that bad, but it's enough to where I could probably make this work. You know, but I'd have to drop some of the other stuff. So, you know, on Facebook, I did away with Jack Shadow's Facebook page. I didn't do them. I didn't delete them. They're just unpublished right now. I can easily go back and activate them at a later time. But I thought, you know, there's probably too many chillers out there. I kind of want to focus more and do, you know, do more with less, you know, rather than thin myself out doing numerous projects and not getting anywhere with them, just spinning the tires. So I thought if I do less, you know, tighten it up a little bit, focus more, and then proceed onward. So I could change that at any given minute. So, but this is the way we'll try it for now. We'll see how it goes, and if things don't look like they're going too well, we'll just switch back. But you know, I wanted to give this a try, and from the looks of it, at least from last night went a lot smoother, of course, than the Screaming Skull week. But that's why I'm kind of pushing myself to do this, so I do get better and more at ease, and because it is different hosting a movie than it is just sitting here doing this, or even Chiller Chat. You know, it's a different It's apples and oranges, I guess so. Or skulls and bats and spiders. Glam. Um, Tom says, did he say he's killing Chiller Chat? Killing? But I can reanimate Chiller Chat at my leisure if I so wish to do so. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna just put it off to the side for now, so I can get more done. Wolfstan says, might be lame, but I just rewatched Eyes Without a Face, and it's magical. Eyes Without a Face. Which one is that? Let me look that up real quick. Eyes Without a Face. Is it public domain, or is it something that you're watching like on Netflix or something? Alright, let's see. Well, the only thing that I'm seeing is... Oh, from what, 1960? Is that what you're talking about? Eyes Without a Face movie? Let's say movie. Huh. Well, I see the trailer on here, but I don't see any of the movies actually downloaded. I don't know if that's public domain. But check it out. If that's something you want to watch sometime, then we could check it out. Eyes Without a Face. I see a 2021 official trailer, so they must have did another movie by that title as well. Karen says, Eyes Without a Face is a great classic French horror film. I love it too. Yeah, if that's public domain, be happy to show it on here. David says, Live has a definite better energy to it. Yeah, I've always thought that. Wolfstan also watched Repulsion. I was snowed in. We're all going to get snowed in tomorrow from what I hear. So maybe I'll be doing a lot of TV watching. Tractorhead says, YouTube can be annoying at times for sure. Yes, oh yeah, many times. Many times it has. Terrence says, if you like Repulsion, check out The Tenet. It's even better, directed by Roman Polanski. Oh yeah? Tenet. David says, sometimes the movie is public domain, but the music isn't, which normally causes flags. Yeah. Yeah, like that one for like Nosferatu. We were talking about that last night on the phone after the show, and I said, yeah, just watch out for that. It's the same thing there. Blam says, anyone know how much of YouTube flagging is automatic versus manual review? You'd think there would be a way to avoid flagging public domain stuff. I don't know. I don't know enough about it other than, I do get hit with, I've got hit with my own theme music. That never existed before I started in 2015 using it, or maybe even before that. This particular theme music. It was made specifically for the show. It never existed. That was made for the show. So you got to get on there and explain yourself. Like, no. I promise you nobody's complaining about that. It's mine. Let's see. Wolfsten says, Tenet is great too. Too bad Polanski's such a creep because I enjoyed his movies. Yeah, a lot of those Hollywood types are. Tom says, Lex was a Canadian production made in Halifax. Knew some of the actors and writer. Yeah, that's right. You were saying that last week, I think. The ones I saw were marginal, but didn't see many. That's neat, though. Even if it wasn't that good, if you knew somebody was in it, that's kind of cool. John says, how you been doing? When is your next movie? Thanks. Next movie is... Well, tonight's schedule. You mean tonight's schedule? It's at 9 o'clock. In about 13 minutes, the movie will be The Screaming Skull. And, I'll just I'll put the schedule up again here toward the end. But yeah, the Screaming Skull is going to be next. But as far as the taping them live, that will be next Friday, and that will be on January 21st. Robot Monster. Robot Monster. Yeah. So there you have it. Darren says, yeah, it's like the art dislikes the artist. Check out the Ninth Gate. I did see that one. It was interesting. Tom says, it's all automatic, Glam. Takes an act of Congress to get a human involved. Yeah. Tractor says, pretty much, Tom. Yeah. Ghoul World Order says, does this mean the Boris Karloff Frankenstein monster makeup won't be copyrighted too? No, I think that they could probably. I'm guessing that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that definitively, but I'm guessing. I'm guessing that that's something that they can hold on. I don't know. That's a good question. The likeness, like the likeness for Bela Lugosi. We were talking there last night about that. Dracula is in the public domain as far as the character, the book. You can make your own Dracula movie and you'll be fine. You just can't use the Bela Lugosi likeness, of course, or Frankenstein. Again, you can make your own Frankenstein, write your own Frankenstein book, or make your own movie using that word, that names of characters and stuff like that from that book. You just can't use likenesses. So that's a good question. Anybody know the answer to that? I have no idea. Terrence says, yeah, Lex was recommended by Voxus Productions, a YouTube channel I watched, and he said it was German and Canadian. Raymond says, Raymond! Glam says, thanks for joining us. Glam says, it's automatic. They can't program in public domain stuff as safe. Maybe that, I don't understand the process, but seems like it shouldn't be this problematic. I don't know about, I'll tell you how it is. Even before I started doing this stuff, even before I was with Stream TV, I almost didn't rekindle the show, just because I was so fed up with YouTube. And that was back in 2017. I had already reached my limit, with being annoyed by YouTube back in 2017, because for years leading up to that, I was just like, what? I've had it, but, here we are, this handful of years later, and still at it. So I don't know. I'm just trying not to get my channel shut down. I'll just make another one. I'm not being monetized, so it's not like this is my job, but I hate to lose the people that I have, So if that ever happens, I'm telling you, just keep, look for me. Look for Chiller Night, or, the Chiller Night or Chiller Night Theater. You'll find me. I know you'll find me, but don't give up on me. We'll be back. Tom says, Raymond. Okay. Tom says, there's no official source for public domain, Glam. YouTube is not about to do research on those. Yeah. Because they're leaving it up to you. But then when you're putting public domain stuff on there, it's still getting zinged. So, Terrence says, does anyone here subscribe to Dead and Buried Treasures? He's also a horror host like Brian. Brian, does he do one movie every month or so? I don't know. I don't know his schedule. He, Eric Sprouse, and Brian have collaborated in the past. Yeah, it's been a while since I know he does stuff. I think he's on PC 21 in Pittsburgh. I was on there for a while, but I got tired of nothing against the station, or it was the process is what annoyed me, because to submit a disc, I had to fill out a form. Okay, so I got like 13 shows together, had my discs, had my forms, for each CD or DVD, and then sent them in. So there's 13 shows. Just play those in order 4 times that year. There's your year's worth. But you have to send in every time that this airs, or they for you to schedule it, they want a form filled out with it. And I thought, I'm not gonna do that. I don't have that kind of time. If I had an assistant, I'm not making any money from this. They're certainly not going to. So, I'm just the one man production here. I don't have time for that. So I don't know. But to answer your question there, Terrence, I don't know what how frequently he does do that stuff. A lot of work, a lot of work does go into that. Let's see. Raymond says, I enjoy the live movies. Making comments for fun. I think so. I had a blast last night. I thought that was a lot of fun. A lot more so than the week before that, because that was my first time doing that. The audio wasn't working. I was like, but we only got like 6 minutes left. Quick hour. Glam says, thanks for the YouTube information, Tom. Tom says they were all broadcasted live in the old days. See, and that's what I want that feeling. I just wish that there was somebody, off screen that would be able to do the clicking. Okay, hit movie segment 1, hit that type of thing, so I could just stand there and now back to the movie, and it goes back to the movie, and I don't have to dramatic pause, wait, and then click. That kind of takes a little bit of the magic out, but who knows? Who knows? I am working on something we'll see. We'll see how things go. There's a lot going on this year. It's pretty cool. Terrence says, what sucks about YouTube is, I got 5 minutes. He says, is just because a movie is public domain in the U.S. doesn't mean it's in the public domain in other countries. And YouTube just deletes instead of geo-blocking. That's an interesting point. I wasn't aware of that. Glam says, the YouTube plot thickens. Terrence, shame, it's such a mess. Yes. Tom says, also, Terrence, just because a movie is public domain doesn't mean the story it's based on is public domain. Ooh, that's an interesting loophole. Interesting. Ghoul Rolled Order says, I got my food and vape juice. I'm prepared for the snow. Terrence says, true, Tom. Yeah, never thought about that. Tractor Head says, yeah, but there is this one note that sounds like another song, so boom, flagged. Okay. That's the way it seems, isn't it? David says, speaking of movie scores, Robot Monsters music was done by Elmer Bernstein. What else has Elmer, has he done anything else that we would know of? Like, I know, like Jerry Goldsmith and Danny Elfman, John Williams, of course we all know that, but very recognizable names and very recognizable tunes. Or even if you're not aware of, connecting the dots with who did what, you would know their work. Is this somebody who was he famous? I don't know. I haven't started looking into it yet. We did this back in Sleepy Hollow Theater days, Robot Monster, but I have not done this yet for Chiller Night Theater. So it's been years since I've looked anything up. And then Raymond says, Ghoul, I have my JD and cigars. I'm ready for the big inch of snow. Yeah, I've got my adult beverages and plenty of cigars here myself. Let's see. Tom says, I wish there was a big class action lawsuit against Google on all the blocking they do on legitimate public domain material. Yeah, I certainly don't know enough about it. They are YouTube. YouTube without. I'm not talking about my little programs and my, that's nothing. That's just fun. If I was making money on it, that'd be a little different. I'd be more frustrated. But yeah, no, YouTube overreaches like vastly. I know, in ways that it needs to something needs to rein them in. Getting out of hand. Tom says Dracula's has been out of copyright since before Nosferatu was made. Stoker never followed up with the paperwork. Interesting. I forget all the details of that. I remember talking about that when we did Nosferatu. But yeah, Dracula. Before I didn't know. I didn't know the years of those. Let's see. John says, you have been watching the Chilla Night pre-show with Brian Hogue. This is Crozak the Grand. Remember, we got cold weather incoming, so bring your Yetis in. They deserve the hot chocolate. Until next Saturday night, stay chilled and keep thrilled. Yes, Saturday, or better yet, next Friday night. Don't forget about next Friday night. We'll be doing Robot Monster. We'll be doing a live Friday Night Frights. I'm still going to call it that. And that'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Robot Monster. And that guy, Brian Hogue, will be the guest host again. And, of course, Saturday, Glam says, Brian needs an intern. Surely there's a student out there who could use that experience. Yes, there is. And don't call me Shirley. Right. All right, let me put the schedule up once again, and then we'll I have to put a cap on things, folks. 9 p.m. The Screaming Skull in just a minute I say. 10:30 Eerie Voices Paranormal Society on Chiller Chat. 11 p.m. Chiller Night Theater. Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. Excellent movie. 12:45 Chiller Chat. Again, EVPS. 1:15 a.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Silent Night, Bloody Night. There you have it, folks. There's the lineup for tonight. So thanks for joining me tonight and each other. Have a good night. Have a good chiller night. We'll see you next week.